It's time for another episode of Locked into Lunacy. Sorry about the cough. The night starts out with Vampiro and Pondo, and they're doing a backstage segment, and Vito comes up and says that Vampiro is not running the show, even though he's literally the fucking showrunner. Vamp said he didn't clear something with the boss, but we're not sure what it is yet. That's coming up. Apparently Vamp is over a 30-time world champion and is the first JCW champion to bring the world title to national television. Vamp says that Too Tough Tony is a dick and will be defending against a mystery opponent tonight. Vamp says it's going to be awesome, and it is. Because those of us that have seen it, we know it's going to be freaking awesome. The St. Clair Monster Corp with new member Beastman versus Flo Kane and Ninja Mac. And that's pretty much a stomp all the way through, a squash match. St. Clair Monster Corporation. Stomp them. And we see how dominant the new member Beastman is. And we see later on in the show how Beastman is a big over in Japan. Shout out number 1. Let's go ahead and shout out Real Juggalo 123 and all the cool stuff he's doing over on his YouTube channel over there. Shout out his podcast he has with Madman Pondo himself, Crazy Time, where you guys can hear all kinds of crazy wrestling stories. Straight from a 2-time Hall of Famer like Madman Pondo. Alright, next we got Too Tough Tony. Got interviewed and is asked about knowing who his opponent is. Tony said he might be drunk, but if he sees 2 or 3 opponents out there, he'll just punch them all. It's a solid strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him. Vince Russo says to Vamp, he may be the showrunner, but he's not running the show. I don't get this segment at all, man. You want chaos, but you say chaos has to ask your permission. It doesn't fucking make sense. But Vamp just says, wait for the payoff. And this is actually the second time in the night where we have this ongoing joke about what happened to your neck, Vito. And Vito says, oh, it's rough sex with Jasmine St. Clair or whatever. But we all know it was the fucking outbreak. Jeeves comes out to get some heat and to introduce Caleb Conley. Caleb Conley versus Willie Mack. Willie Mack pretty much dominates the match until Jeeves pulls his leg to cheat, and the ring rat goes in there to distract Willie Mack. She gets stunned, but then Caleb Conley uses the distraction to pick up the win. Let's go ahead and shout out right now Humble Among, a guy that needs no introduction. I know I'm not very humble when I talk about him, but he's actually seems like a pretty humble guy. We all know who he is. Does awesome videos about everything going on in the Juggalo world. Does awesome funny videos about recapping JCW. Kind of like this one, only better. If you somehow don't know who Humble Among is, go check his shit out. It's fresh as hell. He always responds to all my comments, so I'm sure he responds to everybody's comments. Hello, what's up, guys? Talking about some JCW Lunacy on live Locked into Lunacy. Katrina Creed and Jody Threat versus Haley J and Danny Moe. Both teams look good in this match. I have, and Haley and Danny get the win by pinfall. Yeah, it's nice to see both teams looking good in the match. I like that they had their face painted. I like that babyface energy they came with. It's a solid wrestling match. I'm going to go ahead and shout out the Wicked Clown Misfit Family podcast over on TikTok. You can watch that pretty much all weekdays at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. They have an awesome rapper, Homicide, over there that they support. His new album, Badder Than Hell, is out now on all platforms. Go peep that. Let's see. Big Vito pays the Outbreak, but it's actually he pays the Brothers of Funstruction to hurt the Outbreak in their tag team title match. We get more jokes about what happened to Vito's neck with the Outbreak and Too Tough Tony, and Vito trying to bully them, but then he gets bullied back. And Big Al makes an Big Al. So I got to talk about this segment. Big Al goes into, she's told earlier that Russo wants to talk to her. Then she goes into his office, and the next thing we see is her screaming obvious unwanted physical contact. So, like, get off of me, don't touch me there, stuff like that. I don't think this is funny, man. I don't know if anybody likes this. Hi, I'm new. Hey, I'm new too. What's up, man? Whoop, whoop. I don't like this. I don't like we're going so far to make a joke. Haha. People get SA'd all the time in the WWE because WWE is a piece of shit. The joke, I guess, is that everybody in wrestling is secretly a piece of shit. I don't like it. I wish that they weren't doing this, and I hope it doesn't end up as bad as it can be. I don't know. This is the one thing in JCW I really don't like right now is this SA storyline with Big Al and Vince Russo. Do better, Vince Russo. Do better, JCW. Sipping on some Faygo Moon Mist over here. And we got a promo for PCO coming to JCW. Looks like a fucking hardcore badass out of Canada, and some promotion called Maple Leaf Wrestling. I just kept thinking, because we saw in Beastman's promo and we saw in PCO's promo all these people getting hit with light bulbs and shit. I wonder how, like, the glass dust doesn't get into their eyes, because they, like, hit them, like, really hard in the face with them, and I don't know. They must know what they're doing, because they do it all the time, but it's something that crossed my mind. It's like, they're not worried about this glass getting in their eyes. So we got the Outbreak versus the Brothers of Funstruction. It's a pretty good match. The Outbreak win it, though, and become the new JCW Tag Champs. And we got Big Vito comes in to attack them with the Kenzo stick, but they get the last laugh. They kind of attack him back and stand tall in the ring. I love the fact that the new JCW Tag Champs are the Outbreak. The Outbreak are amazing, man. They should have won in that award show. They should have won Gimmick of the Year. They won Newcomers of the Year, which makes sense too, but how are you not going to give these zombies guys the Gimmick of the Year? I don't get that. And then we got Too Tough Tony versus Carnival of Carnage. Too Tough Tony would have won, but Jeff the ref does a favor for Vito, so he doesn't count the pin. And yeah, it's revealed that it's Matt Cardona. He gets radio silence and becomes the new JCW champ. Man, how do you guys feel about Matt Cardona being in JCW? And he's also starting, and because this was recorded like a month ahead of time, he's also now started his return in WWE on SmackDown. So we can simultaneously watch Matt Cardona on Thursdays on JCW Lunacy, and then the next day on Friday, we can watch him on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, I personally don't watch WWE shows, but I will be keeping an eye on the career of Matt Cardona over there. One second here. Yeah, man. And then we had the award show. Oh, and then we got the coming to JCW Lunacy. Freaking Ken Anderson, Mr. Anderson. Yeah, 100% say yes. Hell yeah. We're all fans of the heels. Even though he can play a face, he can play a heel. You know, I think it's good for JCW to have somebody of his caliber, big ex-WWE, a big AEW, a big GCW star. Headlock, what's up? Whoop whoop. Can't believe that only took me 12 minutes. Damn. Anybody out there want to talk about JCW? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I went through my notes, just zoomed by them. I didn't think that it would be that fast. Last time it took me like 19 minutes to get through them. This time it was only like 12. What was your favorite part of JCW's Lunacy? What do you think of Matt Cardona as champion? Or Outbreak as tag champs? What do you think of the fucking SA storyline with Vince Russo and Big Al? Next week, brother, I'll get you a link so you can join me on here, okay? I'll text it to you. I just didn't want to do it. The night of. You know, last week I did it the night of, like, hey, do you want to join me on this? You were like, yeah. And then I had some emergency pop up, and then I couldn't get it done. But yeah. Next week on Locking in Lunacy, we're going to try to get Headlock Entertainment as my co-host. I'm going to try to record this on Spotify right after this. Guys, thank you so much for showing up to the live. Be sure to subscribe. Tell your friends about it. We're trying to be a growing JCW channel here on YouTube. So trying to get this podcast going, and I'm going to try to record this for Spotify next. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, I know what you meant to say. 100, 100. Yeah, what's up, guys? What did you think of JCW Lunacy this week? Can you guys, do you know if you can go back as I'm live and rewind it and watch the beginning of it? Later, brother. Thank you, Headlock. All right, guys. That'll be all for this YouTube live edition of Locked into Lunacy. I'm going to record the Spotify version next. And hopefully it's a good first episode on Spotify. All right. Whoop, whoop. Peace, juggalos.